Now, we all know Alabama just lost to Tennessee, and with that loss are now sitting at a whopping 5-2, which puts playoff hopes on life support. And there are many, and I mean many reasons as to why this is the case, and we're going to talk about those reasons in this video, but I want to start out with one of those reasons that I thought or I may have hoped at this point would not be an issue for Alabama, but it is one of the biggest reasons because it is the most important position in football, and that is the quarterback position. Jalen Milroe has regressed. And now when I say this is not all on him, but he has taken a turn for the worse since that Georgia game, as well as the rest of the team. It seems that the Georgia game was actually their version of the national championship, because now my Alabama team acts as if the season is already done. They're playing as if it's the offseason. The coaches don't look like they know what they're doing. The defense could not stop anybody if they wanted to. When Alabama plays, penalty flags get thrown like confetti, and I've been defending this man as well, but he is the mastermind behind the team and his feet should be held to the fire. And before I get into this video, I need you guys to do one thing as well as think about another. First, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to hit 3,000 before the year is over. But number two, think about this as I go through my rant. It's not like Alabama doesn't have the talent. In fact, they have so much talent that they should be playing better than this. This video will also hurt the feelings of some Alabama fans, but it's nothing that I haven't said before. And until something changes, Alabama looks like just another SEC team. So let's start with Jalen Milroe and then get into the rest of the team as a whole. Last year, Jalen Milroe was in his first year starting. A lot of people did not believe in his ability. We know what happened in the Texas game last year. Then he got benched the following week before playing well the rest of the way. A lot of people gave him props, but there were still some doubters. I defended him time after time after time until this very moment, because patience was going to be key in his first full year as the starter. Everybody isn't going to be amazing out the gate, and he did show some improvement as the season went along. However, in his recent games, including against Vandy, he has honestly been awful. Against Vandy, I know he did have 310 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, but the Vandy game is where Milroe developed his turnover bug. And it seems like after that Alabama versus Georgia championship game, that was not really a championship game, these bad habits have been developed and never fixed. And at first glance, that pick against Vandy looked like it was one of those crazy 50-50 plays, but as we continue to look as the weeks progress, we will see a similar pick in the South Carolina game that following week, and then he would throw a pick on a potential scoring drive against South Carolina. He finished that game with 209 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. One of those interceptions set up South Carolina to score even more points, and now we're in present day against Tennessee. He finished with 239 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. He went 25 of 45 with a completion percentage of 55%. That's just bad. And I would not be as hard on him as I am if it didn't look like a broken record player out there. It seems like the same mistakes are being made over and over again. Not going through his reads, panicking in the pocket, overthrowing the one wide out, and that one wide out got to learn how to block. It's the small things that get you beat. Come on, Ryan Williams. So that tells me once again that he isn't going through his progressions well. He regressed as a player. His confidence out there looks completely cooked, and that's the facts. You can look at the numbers. A lot of this though can be looked at from a completely different lens as well. If you have a quarterback who is struggling, why not, maybe, just maybe, running the ball more? That pick in the end zone that could have probably been prevented if you would have run the ball more. A great pick, one-handed, all of that. Fantastic play from the defender, but at the same time, if you know your quarterback is struggling, why do you continue to throw the ball? I'm not asking Milroe to be something that he isn't, but you have to protect the ball. And a lot of that falls on coaching, and I'm going to get into that a little bit later. But if you look around, this entire team is struggling. Players are looking very undisciplined. Just watch this play where he gets baited into a penalty. Come on, Kendrick Law, you gotta be smarter than that. And this offense that looked great at the beginning of the season is looking very, very bad. You get 3 turnovers and come up with 0 points. That's not going to cut it. 75 rushing yards, not going to cut it. Bama continues to refuse to run the ball, but But like many fans, including myself, has said over and over again, what happens when you can't make that big burst play? What happens when Alabama is forced to have to drive the ball for a very long time? Well, they simply
folded like a fresh set of clean sheets.
Now, I will say this. The defense was good in the beginning of the Tennessee game, but then they just got worse and worse as the game went along. Tennessee was very physical up front, and they couldn't handle it. Tennessee ran the ball all over this Alabama defense. Dylan Sampson had 26 carries, 139 yards, 2 touchdowns. The $8 million man, Nico, really did not have to do much in this game. He did have a touchdown, but he also had an interception, 194 yards, and he added 44 yards on the ground. And a lot of people are blaming the coaches. A lot of people are blaming the players. It's a combination of the two, but the coaches do bear most of the blame here because you are a reflection of your coaching staff. And we see the reflection of this coaching staff is not looking that great. But I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting, but let's just see what everybody else is saying. Kalen Deboer destroying what Nick Saban built at Alabama in just 7 games is damn impressive. Now, I still believe in Coach KD, but right now I can't defend the man. What people are saying is true so far. I believe we're going to give it a little bit more time and see how everything plays out, but at the same time, he is not looking that good. Right here, a tweet by SportsCenter, an unusual start to the season for Alabama. 2 losses. The last time Alabama lost this much before November was 2007. Now right here says, Will Brooks played high school football 65 miles from the University of Alabama's campus. However, the school didn't offer him a scholarship, so he walked on at Tennessee. Now he intercepts Jalen Milroe to hand Alabama a second loss this season. Crazy. And yes, that is crazy. Shout out to him. You love to see the kids doing well, whether he's on your team or not. So it is what it is. I'm starting to think Nick Saban retired because of Jalen Milroe. Oh my goodness. Man, these folks cutting up. This guy really says, if Kalen Deboer was a fair man, then he should give Ty Simpson a chance by starting him against Missouri, because Jalen Milroe is a disaster, and I mean a disaster. Jalen needs to be benched quickly, and I could not care less how Jalen pathetic supporters feel about my comment about him. Now, my guy, Jalen Milroe has not looked good. I'm going to talk about that specific comment a little bit later towards the end of the video. Do I think he should be benched? We're going to get into that in a second, but let's go through just a few more comments. At Kalen Deboer, stop letting Nick Sheridan treat Milroe like a drop back passer. That's not his style. He's a mobile QB. If teams aren't worried about him taking off, we won't win another game. Let my man cook. I do agree with this. They're treating Jalen Milroe right now like he's Michael Penix Jr. or something. You have one of the best running games, or should I say not best running games. You have 2 of the best running backs in the entire country that we do not utilize at all. This guy right here says, how about we get disciplined and quit going out there looking like a bunch of damn goofies? 112 yards in penalties last night. Ridiculous. I do agree. It has not been pretty. A lot of penalties. Now, I will say this when it comes to the penalties. It's something about this Alabama team. Even when Nick Saban was here, the penalties were starting to get insane. I don't know what it is. Maybe people think they won something because they're already at Alabama when they haven't won anything. I don't know what it is, but it is something about Alabama. This goes back before Kalen Deboer even got here. I'm going to go through just one more comment right here. It says, I'm a huge fan of Jalen Milroe. So am I. And he's improved so much from day one until now. But that's one of the worst quarterback games I've seen in a really long time. I do agree with that. This game was one of the worst QB jobs from Jalen Milroe that I've seen. He was missing guys. Throws that he normally would make, he would make. Looking at only one guy for a majority of the game, it was bad. And this team as a whole has been looking bad, from Kane Womack to Nick Sheridan to Kalen Deboer to the players. Not enough effort. A lot of players thinking they've done something when they really haven't. People going out there missing tackles, not showing enough effort, not blocking. It has been a bad display all the way around. And it's one thing if the team did not have talent, but this is a team that isn't disciplined and is not showing effort. And the thing about it is, it doesn't matter if you have, let's say, 7 guys out of the 11 on the field at a time showing effort. If the other guys aren't showing the effort, it's going to show. All 11 players must be showing effort at the same time, or it will not work. And this is what we are seeing. The coaches are not putting the players in the correct positions in order to be successful, and then that trickles down to the players not showing the amount of effort that is needed to make everything work. But now we have the biggest question of it all. Should Jalen Milroe be benched for Missouri? And the answer to that, in my personal opinion, right now is no. And I'm going to tell you guys why, because a lot of you are going to disagree. And I wouldn't blame you if you are in that perspective, if you are on that camp but I think Jalen Milroe is the starter at the beginning of the Missouri game. If it turns bad, then you throw in Ty Simpson. But once you throw in Ty Simpson, once you go that route, I think you need to be 100% sure that that is the route you're going to take, because I believe, and it's just me, that once you take that route, I don't think you should go back. I think you should stay that lane and continue to go in that lane, whether he struggles or not, because that's going to be your quarterback next year. More than likely, he's going to be the guy for the future. It's almost like when Caleb Williams replaced Spencer Rattler, or when DJU was replaced in Clemson by Cade Klubnik. We did have that situation when Tua replaced Jalen Hurts, and then Jalen Hurts came into the game and won a game. But either way, when Jalen Hurts was replaced, Tua was the guy. But I will say Missouri may be the final straw that breaks the camel back. If Jalen Milroe is not playing well, KD might pull the trigger, but I don't know if Kalen Deboer has enough rocks in his back pocket to actually pull that trigger. We will see. And this may determine how I feel about Kalen Deboer going forward. There are just so many unknowns when it comes to this situation. It's uncharted territory for Alabama, because Alabama is used to being so good for so long. But at the end of the day, though, it's still Roll Tide. I'm still rocking with the team, and it is what it is. We're losing right now. We have won for so many years. Other fan bases have never even tasted how it feels to win one championship, let alone multiple. So at the end of the day, look, a lot of people are going to say a lot of things about the players. A lot of people are going to say a lot of things about whoever. But at the end of the day, it's a game. It's football. We love it. We're passionate about it, and we're going to say whatever and do whatever. But just remember, these are still real people, still real human beings. I've seen people say all kind of crazy things because they're behind a mouse and a keyboard, but look, it's still a game. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video.